Good morning, YouTube.
Good morning.
It is Friday, and we have just been working a lot ever since the retreat, which we had so much fun at.
Yeah, the retreat was absolutely amazing. Went better than expected. We already are on top of next year's retreat.
We're already planning.
We were
just
like,
wait.
We had so many ideas. So we're just like, let's go ahead and start planning it now. And
I thought we planned out far enough for the first one, but apparently not. Because I remember like when I was looking for places to like have everybody under one roof, there was like 2 options. Now there's like 25 to choose from, so it's gonna be good. I'm excited.
Oh yeah, we thought this year's mansion was sick. Just wait till you see next year's mansion.
I'm ready to go now.
Yeah, for real. But anyway, so we are going to be doing a little bit of a discussion on supplementation. We get a lot of questions from a lot of you guys, from our clients, of course, but also just a lot of people that follow our social media accounts. Like we always get asked, like, what kind of supplements do you guys typically implement in a day-to-day basis? So we're just going to kind of go over the rundown of what we generally are taking right now. So it is morning time.
Yes, it is.
I already showed you guys in one of my full days of eating something that I always do first thing upon waking. Well, first thing I do before supplementation is hydrate. So this is a 20 ouncer today, but
I got the 40.
because I lost my 40 ouncer, I got to get a new hydro flask, unfortunately. But I'll typically do, I do 40 ounces of fluid first thing upon waking, and I do.
Still is better at that than I am.
I've been doing that for the past 3 years straight, and it just helps me get all my fluid in. I feel so much better. And then when I do that, if you're, for those of you that have, I know a lot of you guys have goals of at least a gallon a day. That's almost a third of your water in down right off the get-go.
We recommend that a lot for our clients too. Like if you have a hard time hitting a gallon of water, I have no issue. Like maybe I don't drink a bunch in the morning like Dylan does, but I'm always hitting over a gallon by the end of the day. But if you are struggling getting that gallon of water in, or just a lot of water,
20 to 32 ounces of fluid
big chunk right when you wake up.
And then my hydro flask had a straw too, so if you guys are like me, when there's a straw in front of me, I'm just going to be slurping that thing fast. So that's one of the techniques that I use on a daily basis to get my water in. And then once I get that water in, I have my coffee. But before, I should prove
that's his reward.
Yeah, it's like coffee's like a reward. And then something I'll also do is, this is what I was saying, I put in the full day of eating, is I do an apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, amino combo. And I like to do that upon waking. First thing in the morning, because I just feel like it helps with overall digestion and gets me going for the day. So it's just something that I've established as a daily habit. And
helps digestion big time.
As well as blood sugar control for those of you that might have some blood sugar issues. So this is something that I recommend, and personally throughout the growing season and right now I'm implementing growth hormone and want to better manage my glucose levels, so I implement a little bit of apple cider vinegar on a daily basis, or I recommend it post meals if you're having any kind of digestive issues. But so,
and then usually what I'll do in the morning when I remember
and this is why I'm really excited to do this video, because
making me on top of my shit.
Yeah, she's like, I gotta get my Morphogen. I'm like, oh, you're actually gonna take it this morning? She's like, yeah,
I do
it for
take
video.
it.
I'm like, good. So we should do a YouTube video for supplements every morning.
Every day. We're gonna do this every day.
Keep her on top of her shit.
Morphogen. So if you follow us on Instagram or you're on our team, you'll know that we hype up Morphogen day in and day out. So what it is, it's a cortisol support supplement. The main ingredient in it's ashwagandha. So ashwagandha naturally lowers cortisol level, which is our stress hormone. So obviously I'm not dieting right now, but no matter if you're dieting or just tracking your macros, growing, you really want to have a good control and grasp over your cortisol. Cortisol is going to rise from things like stress, work, crazy lifestyle, you name it. So Morphogen, I'll take this in the morning, and really what I notice is you're not gonna just take in all of a sudden be like, wow, I'm not stressed anymore. But internally, it's helping and impacting that cortisol hormone. So Morphogen, I'll take this in the morning, and then this isn't an every morning thing, but I'm about to be starting my cycle soon. So
yippee!
Yay, fun! A supplement that we've been recommending too is chasteberry. I started using this. I mean, I'm pretty new to it. I feel like probably
so-
6 months ago.
And she's been doing it because I've been recommending it for about the past year for some of my clients, because I was reading some of the data and literature to help mitigate the severity of the cycle symptoms, water retention, bloating, cramping, etc. And I was reading the research on Vitex berry or chasteberry, and it's actually really, really amazing to see what the data shows. So
I
started
noticed immediately.
using it with a lot of my clients, and so many of my girls were like, wow, this chasteberry stuff is amazing. I don't have as many cramps.
Mood
water retention is
swings.
down, and it's like, honestly, it sounded too good to be true for a while.
did,
Then I was like, okay, well, I was recommending it for every single one of my girls. That's obviously, most girls are going to have their cycles. So I was recommending the chasteberry around their cycles as well as premenstrual, so the week before their cycle, and everybody said the same shit. And I was like, Lauren, try this shit and let me know.
Yeah.
And, without me kind of like hinting towards what I was expecting, she said the same shit. So.
And that's really big for me. I never got diagnosed, so self-diagnosed. Premenstrual depression disorder, where just literally it's like a black cloud is over your head those few days before your cycle. Like, I know that I'm usually really off. It's not like your normal mood swings. Like, it's true depression just for those few days before you start. Literally the day you start your period, it's like that cloud was like lifted off.
She did go through that and that was early on in our relationship.
It was, but this was also during
like,
the time where truly I think birth control was the cause of that.
Yeah.
But once I came off birth control, regulated my cycle, I still would have some of that like PMDD, those symptoms prior to my cycle. I'm not kidding you though, like whenever I started taking chasteberry, now I just probably go through those normal little mood swings. Like, I have truly not felt like that depressed feeling right before. So you don't want to take chasteberry every single day. You really do want to time it up around your cycle. So when I start to notice I'm getting a little moody and I know I'm about to start soon, I'll start taking it a serving a day all the way through the end of my cycle.
And I'm actually going to piggyback off of that. So she said that she doesn't recommend taking it every day. And I would recommend that for those of you that have a regular cycle, not to take it every day.
Right.
Take it,
Yeah.
around the times of your menstruation period. But I will say that I have implemented it on a daily basis for those of my girls that are trying to get their cycle back.
Or endometriosis.
Yes, or
Yeah.
endometriosis. And what I have found is by megadosing the chasteberry or Vitex berry, upwards towards 800 to 1,200 milligrams a day on a daily basis, I've had several girls actually, it helps get their cycle back. And that's without, a lot of the doctors like to implement birth controls trying to elicit a cycle back, and I'm not about that. So I've had success with just by adding the chasteberry in. And then of course we also, adjusted some other lifestyle factors such as cortisol and stress, both mentally and, physically in the body. But, I think chasteberry has a big key role. Big key role. Wow. That was a lot of words. A key role in potentially getting a cycle back. So these are just some of the techniques that I've found that work for a lot of our girls that may have lost their cycle due to deep dieting phase, low body fat levels, or competition prep. So
I call it the magic pill.
I'm like, Lord, I don't have any pills. The magic pill?
It's a magic
I
pill.
don't do pills in the morning. I do my Morphogen before bed, pre-bed. So, and it kind of just depends on what
It's up to you, yeah.
Totally doesn't matter, but I like to just take it before bed because I'm not one to take that many pills in the morning. But like I said, I just have apple cider vinegar, essential amino acids. I just have amino energy because I was out of stock from Morphogen nutrition, and then my lemon juice, and then I always nuke this bitch in the microwave because
You do have a medication supplement.
I'm team hot water and hot coffee in the AM.
Yes.
What?
Dylan also takes Adderall. He needs that to function.
So I don't need it.
Okay, he prefers it to function.
No, it helps optimize
True.
my
It works,
productivity.
yeah.
And this
Well,
is
you have ADHD.
this is great. Yeah, because so I went. Here we
Now I
go.
have coffee.
Here we go. Did I take my Adderall today?
No.
I'm not gonna take you guys down the Addy hole, but yeah, I mean, I've always kind of had some issues like staying focused, and I've always had to like work harder, like really like dial in my focus. And, like,
Dylan said he
bucket my
just
peripherals.
during college and growing up, he just wanted to refuse that he had ADHD. So he would. I mean, I'm proud of you for going through all like school and everything with the fact that you did have ADHD without anything.
Yeah, I just wanted to like outwork myself,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
And then when I would do every test, you know, I can just remember like blocking out my peripherals and like closing my ears just so I could like zone in and not get distracted by all the things going around me. So I told my nurse practitioner when I was taking the ADHD test, he's like, yeah, that's definitely
You definitely do.
definitely an issue. And I was like, yeah.
So you
well,
found
I mean,
that at
I've
30
overcome
years
it.
old.
At 30 years old, yeah, it's insane. So I recently got prescribed Adderall, maybe 2 or 3 months ago.
3 months, yeah.
Low dose. I typically will do 5 to 10 milligrams a day, depending on my overall workload. I like to divvy it up, maybe 5 mgs in the morning and then 5 in the afternoon for my second round of emails. But in between the Adderalls, I like to microdose psilocybin as well, which we'll actually save that.
Yeah, if you're
for another
interested in
video.
hearing a little bit more about microdosing and
So
the benefits and effects of it.
We're huge advocates of microdosing, and we're just talking about if we should talk about the psilocybin in this video, but we'll save it for another educational video later down the road.
But it's a good way to go in between the two for you. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's our
absolutely.
morning routine.
Morning routine, and then we'll show you guys our other supplements for the rest of the day. I'll have all my pills and shit for meal 1. And
We were gonna train today, but I think we decided to do a rest day. So later in this video, we'll talk about our intra-workout nutrition. We just won't be at the gym, but we're gonna go do emails and
emails. We need intra-workout email nutrition.
bagels.
Bagels.
Yum.
Yeah. No, I'm
All right.
feeling acai bowl today.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
We'll see you in the next one. Okay, we can edit that now. All right, we're back with obviously more supplement talk.
Hashtag sponsored.
Hashtag gains, right?
Yes.
All right, so as you guys saw in the previous clip, we kind of went over our morning supplementation, and now we're gonna go over the rest of the day, kind of what it looks like from meal 1 around training basis to nighttime, as well as some miscellaneous supplementation. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off. Here's some of the supplements that I personally do with my first meal of the day. Morpho Prime, I do this for overall blood sugar control as well as just liver and organ health. There's a lot of ingredients in there such as berberine and N-acetylcysteine that can help with just overall oxidative stress. Fish oils, I'm sure you guys know all about this. I actually get prescribed pharmaceutical grade fish oils just to optimize joint health and mitigate any kind of heart health and all the other amazing effects that can come with the fish oil. I recommend 2 to 3 grams of EPA and DHA combined, and yes, I do personally account that fish oil towards my daily macro intake. If you're for a lifestyle client, I probably wouldn't recommend that. For prep athletes that are very meticulous with their intakes, highly recommend tracking every calorie
Because
it
what,
does
it's
matter.
like 1 to 2 grams of fat a day.
Yeah, so I personally take about 3 to 4 grams of actual fish oil, which is 3 to 4 grams of actual fat. Do the math, 27 to 36 calories every single day. It can add up. So personally, I like to track the fish oils. Alongside with that, we have TUDCA, which is a liver support enzyme, and I recommend TUDCA for those that are enhanced athletes like myself, just to further optimize liver health. Vitamin D supplementation is one that we pretty much recommend almost a lot of people, unless they have good labs to support that. They have great vitamin D levels, but most people, especially in America, tend to be deficient in vitamin D. So if they don't have labs, we're going to recommend supplement form.
Yeah, and even with like good weather, obviously you can get vitamin D from your environment, the sunshine, but I mean, we're freaking living out here in Arizona and I was still deficient in mine.
Yeah, and
so
it's just so hard to get vitamin D in your daily diet. So, many of us are going to have to supplement with additional form. We typically will recommend anywhere between 1,000 IUs to 5,000 IUs depending on the overall deficiency of that person. What else do we got here? we'll go ahead and go into around our workouts, some of the supplementation. So Pico 2, this is a supplement that I recommend for those that are needing help with their overall endurance, or it's a supplement that I've been recommending a lot of people that have had COVID, because COVID,
affects
respiratory, and a lot of people are realizing that they're winded a lot more easily and they're fatigued. So the Pico 2 I've been finding is really helping optimize their endurance post-COVID time. So this is something that you're probably not going to hear many people talk about, but this is something that I've found out anecdotally from a lot of my clients. So check out Pico 2.
And it's adaptogens, right?
Yeah, it's an adaptogen. It's a mushroom blend. So Pico 2 can really help just optimize respiratory health as well as, endurance. So highly recommend that.
I used it prior to HIIT cardio and then also doing like my fitness routines. I usually wasn't taking it every single day, but it was around where, like I said, HIIT or the routine, and it definitely helped me just like have more endurance and breathe a little bit better with all that high impact.
And I personally take it pre-workout, every workout, just to further help with oxygen uptake. So yeah, aside from that, we'll go into our pre-workouts, which are going to be not necessarily mandatory. However, we recommend using pre-workouts whenever you feel like they're going to be needed. So we're going to have two different pre-workouts we're going to be talking about here. The one is going to be caffeinated, the other is going to be non-caffeinated. So kind of just, a lot of people are caffeine dependent, and we try to, there's nothing wrong with caffeine as long as you're, taking your total intake in control. But whenever we don't necessarily need caffeine, I'm going to recommend opting out and going for a non-stim. So, if we're feel like we're dragging ass or something, from a long day or night, we will go with a caffeinated pre-workout. Here we have Tula, which is actually one of BA's pre-workouts that we partnered with them. It's sour cherry. It's very good, dry scoop or with water for those of you that drink your pre-workouts.
Team dry scoop.
Clearly, if you're watching.
I know, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you're looking at, good dose of citrulline for the vasodilation and 200 mgs of caffeine. And that's kind of what I would recommend with a pre-workout is around 200 milligrams of caffeine. You're seeing a lot of these pre-workouts that are very dosed, upwards towards 300 to 400 milligrams, especially, if you're consuming other caffeinated beverages for the day, coffee, energy drinks, more Starbucks. It does add up. So I recommend, trying to steer away from pre-workouts that are more than 200 milligrams of caffeine. And what would you say about that?
No, yeah, I totally agree. And I do like that one. I've had my favorite, I think we all have fun trying different pre-workouts, but I'm so sensitive to freaking beta-alanine. I hate the tingles. I know some people love it.
I personally love this.
This one does have a good amount of beta, but it doesn't bother me. I probably feel it for a good 5 minutes and then it's gone. It hits good. It does. It hits good.
However, for those of you that are looking for a pre-workout that is going to, one that you're going to be able to quote unquote feel and it's not going to be caffeinated, this is not even on the market yet, but I'm really excited about it because I actually formulated this. It is a non-stim nootropic pre-workout. So we are working with Tula Nutrition on this, and it should be released in the upcoming weeks and months.
So exciting.
I've been working with Logan, the owner of Tula Nutrition, on this for the past several months, trying to get everything dosed appropriately. When you are trying to formulate your own product, it's a lot easier said than done, especially on paper, because when you have these things on paper and you actually start combining them, a lot of them, they just don't go together or they start clumping. And the clumping's fine. You're going to see that this is actually clumps just due to the oxidative stress of just, air. But we have key ingredients in here based with research-based dosages. And you're going to find out that with this non-stim, you're not going to need caffeine. You're going to feel like you have plenty of caffeine, and that's the goal with this pre-workout. So, what's that?
It's plenty of energy.
Yeah, you're going to feel like you're going to get a nice euphoria. You're going to get focus. You're going to get pumped from some of the ingredients that we have in here. We have pink Himalayan salt, nitrazine, and L-citrulline, and then paired with other mushroom blends such as the lion's mane and the cordyceps. And I'm telling you right now, there's nothing else like this on the market, especially at these dosages that you're going to find out. And I dosed it at 2 scoops. Based upon the literature, but I actually recommend people starting off with 1 scoop because you actually do feel the effects with 1 scoop.
And the most focused.
It's like a low dose of
Adderall.
Adderall. It's like a low dose of Adderall, and I absolutely fucking love it for that. So I think a lot of you guys are as well, and I'm really excited about it. And it tastes good. It's blue raspberry. Tastes good, dry scooped, and
it tastes like a Dum Dum sucker, like the blue raspberry Dum Dums. They're so good.
And I'll show you guys, like, you know, it does, like I said, it can clump a little bit because of the glycerol that we have in it, and it can, you know, just because it clumps doesn't mean it's bad. But I actually like the clump.
Does it make the actual like pre-workout kind of smooth though with that glycerol in it?
Yes.
Like the texture when
yes.
you drink it?
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Right? It's like smooth.
It dissolves up, but you can see like there's a little clump here, and I really like the clumps because
oh my god,
dude, it's like candy. Pixie steak. Chase, you want to try it?
Married to a psychopath.
Hopefully Chase can try or have the taste buds for this.
Maybe I mean, it has a little. It's tart.
Here we go.
Shit.
Go Chase. Dude, it's sour. It's great. I fucking love it.
I can taste the sour.
Can you? Yeah, you can taste.
He's so sour.
His lips are puckered right now.
Oh yeah.
You like that shit?
I can
Dude, I was so happy with that. So we're really excited about that.
And then one more for intra-workout.
Yeah, we'll go on to intra-workout now.
Yeah. So we talked about pre-workout. For intra-workout, Dylan and I are usually always doing creatine, 5 grams a day. And then I know that you do, what is this?
I do glutamine. Yeah, glutamine. So that's an amino acid. And I don't recommend glutamine for everybody. So bodybuilding industry is a big advocate of glutamine for all the wrong reasons. So glutamine has been getting a lot of hype for several years, and it's been marketed towards helping optimize recovery. However, there's no data to support that. So I'm like, when people tell me they're taking X amount of glutamine, I'm like, okay, that's great. What's the reason why? And most of the time it's to optimize recovery. And I'm like, where's the data? There's no data to support that. So it's just the supplement companies are marketing that to sell a product. However, glutamine can be very useful for gut health and digestion. So if you have any kind of gut issues or you're just trying to further optimize your digestion, glutamine is a supplement that I would recommend. So I personally combine the glutamine with the creatine during the intra-workout.
And essential amino acids.
Alongside essential amino acids, which we don't, like, BRB.
We ran out. Oh no. Well, why?
I actually showed this in the morning.
The most.
So we ran out of our normal aminos. It's usually peach rings, but I Amazon Prime this. It came the same day. Amino Energy. So we pair creatine, glutamine with essential amino acids just to further help, you know, the muscle rebuilding process and the recovery process.
And why EAAs and not BCAAs?
Well, you should tell us, Coach.
BCAAs don't do shit.
So BCAAs used to get all the hype, and they're still getting a lot of the hype from a lot of companies, unfortunately, but we have plenty of data to support that. EAAs are the way to go instead of the BCAAs. So essential amino acids are going to contain 9 of the essential amino acids needed to actually you know, synthesize muscle protein tissue. The BCAAs are going to have 4 of these amino acids, and we know that we need the entire spectrum of 9 essential amino acids to elicit this recovery and optimize that muscle protein synthesis that all the amino acid companies have been claiming. So it wasn't until like the last 4-ish years that a lot of these BCA companies were starting to evolve into EAA companies or EAA products, and that's the way to go. So EAAs all the way. BCAAs, they're not going to get the job done. I just tell people
flavor your water.
They do, yeah. If you want to spend $30 to $40 on Crystal Light just to flavor your water, by all means, that's okay. But you're not going to get necessarily any kind of performance benefit from the BCAAs as you would with the EAAs.
Yep. And then I add on top of that, as far as for, you know, performance and just really maximizing everything that you're doing in the gym, we love to implement intra-workout carbs. So I tell my clients, I know like guys are probably a little bit different than girls, it depends where your macros are at, but typically I'm saying anywhere from 10 to 20 grams of an intra-workout carb. That could be just like a simple fast-acting sugar carbohydrate. Dylan likes hexogen.
So hexogen is a cyclic dextrin form of carbohydrate. So going back to what she said, she typically recommends girls to have about 10 to 25 grams of carbohydrates during their workouts, depending on their overall total carbohydrate load. When you're dealing with, you know, guys, even girls that have eating a lot, will all go upwards toward 25 to 50 grams of intra, or maybe even some of my guys that are consuming hundreds of carbohydrates, I'll have anywhere between 50 to 100 grams of intra-workout carbohydrates. So intra-workout carbohydrates can help further optimize performance and muscle protein synthesis, which is going to be a win-win whether you're dieting or building. And the reason why I recommend this cyclic dextrin, so it's a powdered form, and you compare it with the other intra-workout products that we talked about, you can just sip on it throughout the entirety of the workout. And when you're consuming a lot of carbohydrates, you're not going to really want to eat the carbs. You want to get the carbohydrates in as fast as possible. And the cyclic dextrin is a very fast acting carbohydrate that is going to have virtually zero gastric distress, meaning you're not going to digest it like you would anything else. And that's what you want when you're training. You don't want to focus on digestion. You want something that's going to get in your bloodstream and you're going to be able to put to use then and there. And that's what the cyclic dextrin does. And that's why I'm a huge advocate of that. However, there are other things for intra-workout carbohydrates that myself and a lot of girls and guys that want to make things a little bit more fun do. What do you?
Yeah, I usually do stick to something that is edible. So I'll do something like, I don't know, like Sour Patch Kids, like an easy like candy, jelly beans, Twizzlers.
Team Sour Candy.
Team Sour Candy,
or high
for
cheese.
sure. Yes.
Yeah.
And then I have clients that do, a baggie of cereal or rice cakes, something that is easy to like tolerate and that sits well.
Yep.
But I am definitely team snacks.
But I really like the liquid carbohydrates just for the convenience. And like I said, you can sip on those carbohydrates and you're getting those nutrients shown to the muscles throughout the entirety of the workout versus just eating candy at one given time in the workout. So, minute details, but we're all about optimization at BA.
Okay,
Next.
All right, we got our workout stuff
Thank
out
you.
of the
Next,
way.
let's go ahead and talk about ProTan. So I was debating on whether or not to actually talk about these in a supplement talk because personally, I don't consider whey protein supplements or any kind of protein supplements a supplement because they are comprised with whole foods. However, a lot of people do consider them as a supplement form of getting their protein in. So we'll talk about them here. We have two different types of proteins here. You're going to see IsoPure, which is 100% whey isolate, and this is something that I personally do following my workout protocol. So I'm a huge fan of whey isolates just because of the digestibility, and a lot of people, not all of course, but a lot of people nowadays are having a little bit more issues when it comes to digesting whey. So I find that if you are going to consume a whey, having a whey that is an isolate is going to be that much more easily to digest, absorbed, and utilized for the muscle. So that's why I personally recommend something like IsoPure. You're looking at for
Their flavors are
for
pretty
one
similar
scoop, it's
too,
25
yeah.
grams of protein, 0 carbohydrates, and it's a very broken down amino acid. And then the other protein we have.
Yeah, my preferred lately, within probably the last 2 years, has been more of a vegan protein. We change up the brand that we use all the time. Typically, we are using that Vegagen from Morphogen Nutrition, but they have been
Or
sold
Ghost.
out for it.
Or Ghost.
Yeah.
They have a
Ghost
vegan
Vegan's
peanut
really
butter
good.
cereal milk. Is that what it was?
Yes. Yeah, so good.
And Lauren be catching me in here dry scooping that shit. Is so good. I'm like,
Dry
oh my
scoops
god.
everything.
I dry scoop everything. Yeah, absolutely. But
Right now we're on the Planta just because.
shout out to Simon because he left it from the BA retreat.
Thanks, Simon.
So,
Which this was honestly, I think, the first vegan protein that we used whenever we got
yeah,
into
so
them.
Planta is really good. So this flavor is really good, but my favorite of theirs is, what is it, Banana Foster French
No,
Toast?
it's like banana maple French
Banana
toast.
maple French Toast.
So good.
Smacks. One of the best vegan protein powders out there. And I really like this too because I don't know if Chase is going to be able to see, but the entire ingredient panel, it's very nutrient dense. And you're not going to see that in a lot of protein powders. So I really like the nutrition profile on this.
I tolerate vegan plant proteins a lot better. I'll do isolates, but I like having like more of a thicker consistency, which the vegan proteins do.
Yep.
And it sits well.
And I'm with her, like, I'll do the IsoPure whey isolate around my training, and then if I need some additional protein throughout the day, I typically will go with a vegan protein just because, like she said, it cooks really well. Or if you're like doing protein oatmeal or protein cream of rice,
super
that
thick.
texture is just phenomenal. It like makes it nice and clumpy and just helps with overall satiety. So
Now I want some.
I'm team vegan protein, yeah. And I'll
So
dry
good.
scoop that shit too.
Of course you do.
All right, on to the next. What we got? Boo.
All right, are we on to our nighttime stuff?
Yeah, let's talk nighttime.
All right.
Daytime.
So nighttime.
Nighttime, daytime,
Nighttime.
daytime.
You would
He
be good at
knows.
that too.
He knows.
I'm like, I've never heard anybody do it as good, but
Steve.
What you mean, Steve?
He's good. I'm not surprised.
I feel like I'm watching the video right now.
Yeah, I watched that, back in sophomore year
He showed me
Ohio
that video.
State biology class.
We'll show the clip.
Yeah,
We'll show the clip. Yeah.
You guys have, like, what the fuck are they even talking about? That's random.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you know it.
3, 2, 1.
Nighttime. Daytime. Nighttime. Steve.
That's awesome.
All right, so nighttime. So we are big advocates of cured Zen. So Zen also contains adaptogens. The main one in this is reishi. Is that how you say it? Reishi?
Yeah,
Reishi,
yeah.
and some CBD. So it helps just lower anxiety, lower stress, chills you out a little bit at night. And then the adaptogen, the reishi, really helps you achieve like the REM cycle and sleep. Like
So it
the
just
deep
optimizes
sleep.
the quality of sleep, which, a lot of people just focus on the time and they don't focus on the quality. So if you're getting plenty of time sleeping but not enough quality sleep, then that doesn't even
worth
matter.
it.
So we want to focus on the quality over the true quantity. And with this adaptogen mushroom blend found in Zen, I'm telling you what, man, this is something that I implement year round, especially when I'm in a prep and I need a good night's sleep, and you'll have a deep REM sleep and
Vivid dreams, really vivid dreams.
And I personally love the vivid dreams because I'll wake up and I'm like, wow, like totally remember everything that I dreamt about. It's pretty powerful. But it's, when you wake up, a lot of sleep supplements are that aid in the sleep process.
Like melatonin and stuff like that.
Some people wake up a little groggy, and that's the question that a lot of our clients ask before implementing this. Will I feel groggy? And that's why we recommend it, because you will not. You wake up feeling rejuvenated, ready to fucking go.
And what, serving
anyway,
3 capsules?
Yeah, 3 capsules.
I usually do 2 to 3 capsules.
I do 3 to 4 sometimes.
Yeah, when you guys gave me that product, I started with 2.
Yes.
And after the first night, I had like 3 vivid dreams 3 nights in a row.
Crazy, right?
But I didn't wake up groggy like I used to with melatonin.
Yep.
And like, I don't want to get out of bed.
Yeah.
So
you just feel like ready to
I can
go.
definitely contest to that too.
Again, I mean, this is
it's immediate.
Seeing a pattern here, like with the non-semi-tropic and the adaptogen supplements. Like we're trying to go more like natural mushroom adaptogen based, and that's the way that the health industry is going, and I'm really excited for that. So
Yeah, because it does. They have benefits
You're
beyond
going to
belief.
continue to see more adaptogens and things of that nature on the uprise for overall health and great things like sleep. So aside from the Zen, what do we got, hun?
I think now just our extra stuff.
These are just going to be extra. So these aren't going to be on a daily, but just like on a as needed basis. So we'll talk about the activated charcoal here. So activated charcoal, this is something I'm going to recommend almost everybody get if they're traveling, just because when we travel, what tends to happen? We tend to get our circadian rhythm thrown off, and
Eat
you're
food
on
that we're not usually used to.
eating different food, and you're just eating different times. Your sleep schedule's thrown off, and your digestion might suffer from that. So one way that we have found to really help optimize digestion when traveling, or if you have like you go out to eat or something, you're having a food source that you don't necessarily have,
Like cheese or
something like activated charcoal can really help with the overall digestion process and optimizing those nutrients that you're not used to getting. So
it's also really good too, because I know a lot of people while traveling usually splurge in some drinks or 2. This actually is really good for like post going out. It soaks up all of the alcohol in your system.
Yeah.
But this literally comes in handy. For example, our wedding that was back in October. Apparently I formed an intolerance to quinoa, and I ate a big ass bowl of quinoa before the wedding.
It was like a big ass styrofoam container of quinoa,
was so
this
good,
rainbow quinoa, and I was just eating it like cereal, just spooning it out of that. And Lauren was having it too, and then she said that she had some issues. We were getting ready to like go out, and
I almost didn't want to go out for the wedding. I was in so much pain, and thankfully his dad, who has everything,
my dad saved the day.
he gave me like 2 or 3 activated charcoals, and it was like 30 minutes went by, and then I felt so much better. So it really does just kind of like fix your digestion up if you're not handling something really well.
Yeah, so it's really one that we truly believe in, can really help with digestion, especially in urgent scenarios like it was obviously for the wedding day.
Yep.
So activated charcoal, you can get this on Amazon. cheap,
Yeah.
like 15, 20 bucks.
Or any Walgreens or CVS.
Yeah. Next we have Nutrigen, which is going to be your green supplement. So we don't really push like green supplement. A lot of people, they're like, oh, you need to get your green supplement. Well, not necessarily. If you're consuming adequate micros in a variety diet or varied diet, you're not going to necessarily need a green supplement. But for those of you that have shitty diets and you need to clean things up and you just want to get a little bit more nutrients all packed in one, we're going to recommend the Nutrigen supplement. It's going to have a lot of probiotics. It's going to have some EPA and DHA that you're going to get in your fish oils, and just a lot of other greens and a lot of other antioxidants and micronutrients that you might be lacking in your daily diet. So here we have, what's this, blueberry acai. Typically when I'm making this, I'll add some additional fruits in it, maybe put a scoop of like vanilla protein in it and blend it into a smoothie. But it tastes really good, and another way to just get some additional micros for a day.
Yeah, I used to be really, like, I would do it daily, like a while back, but now I've just been getting it for my diet, so I haven't really been using it. It's hard, I think, to find a green supplement that doesn't taste horrible. This is probably one of the better, like this brand, the Pineapple Punch one's my favorite, and it's, I could tolerate it.
That's probably, honestly, one of the only powders that I will not be dry scooping is green supplements. No dry scooping of the green supplement. That should be a challenge. Dry scooping of the green supplement.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Wait, Chase, you were there when we were all dry scooping the Calm last weekend at the retreat? Were you there?
I wasn't. I wasn't invited.
Damn. So
Yes, you were.
I was dry scooping the Magnesium Calm. Are you dry scooping it?
No, you are.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
On.
Let's go.
Oh, God.
Fuck it. Let's go.
New
Oh,
challenge?
it's just like a quarter.
Yeah, I didn't do the whole thing for you.
Okay. I mean, it smells really good. So, all right. This is first.
Oh, God.
Cheers.
That face says it all.
Don't you need water? Right there? There's water right next to him.
You're doing it. I would have gagged at that point. No, thank you. Nope.
Not bad.
His mouth. Oh my God. Ew.
Oh. Let's see the tongue.
Ew. Oh my God. Okay.
So,
Don't talk. What do you want me to say?
it's actually better than I expected. But I couldn't open my mouth. Like with pre-workout, I can like open my mouth and like try to chew, but it's like, it like dried my mouth and like soaked up all the saliva. So I was like, water. Damn, that's actually not too bad.
Ew.
Good job, Ben. Dude,
Gross.
dry scooped it. But I probably won't be doing that anytime soon again.
No, don't.
All right,
It's
now
not
I can
your
say I dry
breath.
scoop greens. Hell yeah. All right, on to our last supplement on an as-needed basis. Raveraide.
Woo.
Raveraide.
So obviously, you know, we like going to a ton of festivals, concerts, shows. So we work with a company called Raveraide, and they made these little hydration sticks that have a really good mix of nootropics.
More nootropics, fam.
Yeah, nootropics, vitamins, electrolytes. And basically all you do is you just put it in your bottled water, like your Camelback, and it just helps you stay a lot more hydrated when we're out. And honestly, we'll use these for like hiking. You could even use these intra-workout, because there's how much sodium in this?
There's about a gram.
A gram of pink Himalayan
Yeah, so what I'll do is
salt.
I'll typically do half a
Yep.
pack. I'll do half a pack for intra-workouts. If I'm going to be using that, but again, you know, it's another way to get some electrolytes
Tastes
and
good,
further
too.
nootropics. But you know, we really implement it during race because we're on our feet doing 30,000 steps on these nights, and you know, we're sweating a lot because we're dancing and headbanging the night away. So a good way to get those electrolytes in and stay replenished and hydrated is through Raveraide. So yeah, that's all our supplements for right now at this given moment.
Yeah.
And I think for most of these, like Morphogen and Raveraide, just code BA.
No, this is code Bair. We'll put them in the bottom though. This is code Bair.
Discount codes for these will be in the what is it? The description box below.
What is it?
Yeah, but I think that's all we got. We over everything.
I think we're good.
Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below, and we'll get to you on the supplementation. So hope you enjoyed that little spiel.
Thanks for bearing with us.
Thanks for bearing with us.